Hey, good morning, concept thinkers. Fantastic morning. Nice and cool outside. You know, I like it. Listen, today is day 11, and we're going to talk about how to deal with criticism like a boss. Like a boss. I hear Rick Ross playing in the background. Hey, check it out. So, I had a really tough evening yesterday. I'm gonna be honest and transparent with y'all. I got a lot of life stuff kind of happening, right? And I didn't sleep last night. You know, I was on and off, and finally I just gave up at about 2:45, 3 a.m. I was like, yo, you're not sleeping. Like, it is what it is, right? And I sat back and I had to really kind of like reevaluate my situation. And I like to call myself a pretty smart guy, right? And I noticed that some of the conversations that I had, whether they were good conversations, bad conversations, arguments, I noticed a trend in them. I was going into that conversation with knowledge, but I argued about things that I already knew the answer to. I debated things there was no purpose that was going to come out of that debate. And I realized that I'm reading the Terry Crews book, and it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. And I realized some of the things he was talking about when he was talking about, not to be cliche, but like a control, a manipulation, or understanding there's power in your words, there's power in your thoughts, different things like that, right? And I noticed that, you know, I was going back and forth debating something that didn't need to be debated. And sometimes you got to learn, if a person is telling you who they are or what they're going to deliver on or how they're going to operate, you just got to listen, right? You don't have to be obedient to that, but you have to understand that that may be the best that they have. That may really be their understanding. It sucks, but who are you to change their mind is what I was getting at. And it humbled me. It made me realize that I may have some things that my mind is pretty set and secure on. So I accepted something that I didn't want to accept to allow myself to grow, right? And I'm ready for it. So with all that being said, how does that relate to today? How to take criticism like a boss? Well, because I've been criticized about it. I've been talked to about it. I've learned about it. I've known about it. And I still wasn't applying that. So this is what we're going to talk about. The first thing that I noticed that I was doing wrong, I wasn't separating emotion from feedback. When you get feedback or somebody's telling you, hey, you did this wrong, or you need to tweak this or whatever, you call it constructive criticism, you call it whatever criticism you want. It's hard because we're humans and emotion is going to happen, but we have to be strong enough to have the power to separate that emotion from this sound guidance. You ever heard somebody say they went somewhere, church or wherever, and the person stepped on their toes? All right, cool. Now what do you do with that? What do you do with that energy that just came from that? You got your toes stepped on, you feel some type of way. What's next? You gonna cry about it? You gonna be upset and do nothing with that? Or are you gonna take the knowledge that you just gained and apply it? All right, that was tough, but now I know I need to tweak this, I need to tweak that. I think you make a huge mistake if you do not participate in letting that insight that you just took on turn to something that you can control, something that will benefit you, right? Knowledge is power, but what you do with it. All right. Next, use criticism as a tool for growth. We just talked about that, you know? If every time somebody tells you something, whether it's about yourself, whether it's about your situation, in the middle of them giving you that insight, you're criticizing them. Well, you did it. Well, you didn't do it like that when it was your turn. Well, you first, and da-da-da-da-da. And you add in negativity and all kind of, listen, you setting yourself up for failure, right? We have an opportunity, you know, to make the things that we want to accomplish, you know, we have an opportunity to take those and break it down into little miniature milestones, right? Take in knowledge as we continuously go through those things, whether it's from a piece of constructive criticism or whether it's from something that we learn along the way. You take those things and you build on it. It's like building blocks, right? And they could be tools. You can refine your strategy as you go up against whatever challenge you have. And you're on this path. You can refine your strategy as you go so you can make sure that you're sharpening everything that you need to be tough enough for that moment. And when I say tough, I don't mean, you know, aggressive or, you know, defiant, or I mean tough enough to where when you have those low moments, those low points, you could take, oh, that's right. I did learn this. Oh man, I remember last time I did it. It didn't turn out like that. Let me try to change this up, whatever. You could take those things and you can grow with them. I'm also going to say, not all criticism is valid. You got to create that filter. All right. I've been in some situations, man, where to some people, the opinions of others are their life. They say it's not, but it is. To some people, friendships and who likes them, it's their life, right? So they value the information that they share, whether they have experience in what they're talking about or not. They value their words so big that they'll tweak their everyday life or situation, relationship, God especially, based on this other person's opinion. You got to be a filter, right? I believe, and I'm going to use relationship, right? I believe that you always have to be careful who speaks something into your relationship, right? And you got to be able to filter, take out what you need or what you don't, whatever, but you also have to qualify them, right? Like, all right, you're giving me marriage advice. You've been divorced 6 times. Doesn't mean that you can't give me the advice, but it is my job to put a certain filter in place to recognize that I don't know if the way you keep doing it is the way I want to do it. What good can I get out of this, right? What's going to empower me or fill my relationship with something positive, right? But if you just take every ounce of that information and you put no filter and you just take it all in, well, you might be bound to go through what they went through, almost to the exact, right? Same thing with business advice or whatever the advice is. You got to filter it, right? You got to know, all right, that probably worked for them. I might need to tweak it a little bit. Or what if I did this? And you could even bring that up in the conversation. All right, here the way you did, you know, this and this. What if I tried it like this? What do you think about that, right? Filter. And what that filter looks like is on you. And I think you should do it in a positive way, right? Don't be rude to the person. Oh, that ain't me. I'll never. No, don't be rude to the person. You have allowed them to give you feedback anyway, right? Not every time you talk to a person do you need feedback, but sometimes you want it, and that's okay. That's okay, because we're not going to know everything, right? The good thing is, because of this many humans, right, and life is life and for everybody, some people are going to have experience that you don't have, and you're going to have experience that some others don't have, so you can collaborate. That's the beauty of it, right? Taking criticism, but also collaborating on ideas, right? And then the last one, the more successful you become, the more opinions you'll attract. I'm going to tell you, this point is spot on, right? If you got a relationship and you go through hurdles, up and down, but every time you and your partner get back together, let's say you young and y'all just can't figure out a couple things. You just keep knocking heads, and you're going to have so many opinions from so many people. Oh, that might be the last time. Oh, that might be this. They're not in your heart. They don't know your love. They don't know what you and your partner are going through. They don't know if y'all are praying. They don't know, right? And they may be jealous because they didn't get that many chances, or they didn't go through this like this. And I'm just using that as an example, right? I've seen some very jealous-led advice go out before, and sometimes I can't be a filter for everybody, right? So you got to be able to filter your own information. But take that and realize it doesn't have to just be relationship. What about in business? The more and more successful. What about a job promotion, right? What about when you get recognized for something? The more opinions are going to come out. Oh, I think you should. Oh, do it this way. Don't do it that way. And you looking at them like, okay, I appreciate that, right? But understand that filter, right? Are they qualified for that? What are you going to do with their opinion once you get it? Are you going to actually change your whole method according to what they just shared? Apply the filters, qualify, but be open to criticism. It's all about strategy. You know, the more I do these videos, the more I realize how in control of my own mindset I am. The more I realize how in control I am of my own behaviors, which leads me to believe that I am very much so in control of how it plays out, or at least what effort I give to assist with the success of how it plays out. Now, you can't control the outcome. Got it. But if you have all that power in the beginning stages, it's safe to say if you do those things right, you're leading yourself to a better outcome than if you gave all that power away. If you didn't take any criticism, nobody can tell me nothing. You don't know me. You've known me for 15 years, but they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? I've done this 100 times, but they telling me I'm going to do it wrong again. They don't know. Listen, some of that stuff slips right into, there might be some mental support that you need to get, right? Some more professional support, right? That'll help you understand, a coach, right? Mentor, psychiatrist, all right? Whatever the case may be. I'm not joking about mental health. I'm serious, right? It may be some things that you need a little bit more support on. But some of it's just mindset. It's attitude. It's the fact that you are a habitual, repeated offender of that same type of thinking, right? And I know I said two words that mean the same thing. I got it, right? But it just empowers me to know that, like, man, so many stages I have a little bit of power in, and I can take this way, whatever. Like, it makes you feel good, because if you do these things right, you can target a better outcome. I'm excited. That excites me. I'm going to be honest with you. That really motivates me. Right? So take that in today. I don't want to make this video too long. How to deal with criticism like a boss. You know, take these key points, learn, love, understand, put forth your best effort today. Filter out the advice, qualify people. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you a big head or a know-it-all. Nah, you got to qualify people, because you got to be careful, man. Not everybody going to pour positives into you. Sometimes people going to pour negatives. Sometimes people going to pour their fears into you. Oh, I wouldn't do it like that, because what if this yeah, I don't need that, right? Maybe let me know what you're scared of, so I know you're scared of that. I'm not scared of it, and that's not how my path is going to go. I want y'all to have a blessed and amazing day. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm pumped up. That just motivated me. I'm not even gonna lie. It helped me with my own situation, right? Y'all have a good day. I go by Jay.